This side is faced on the lathe. And this on the rotary table. So this surface is not completely flat. I've tested it with this type of ruler. I don't know what it's called exactly. But you put it on a surface and check it against the light. And can't see any light when I measure here. Or check it here. But I do see some light if I check across the center. And I think it has to do something with the type of mill I use. I don't use a normal end mill, but a corn mill. Which has two tiny points instead of a flat cutting edge. But I think I have an idea how to cut the center. Now I will use this blank, and I will first punch in a number and solder in a loop, and then I'll make a pattern on this one. So I can still use this with just a normal X and a Y. And I only have to reacquire the center if I want to do angular milling. I've drilled the first hole. But I can't just rotate the table 180 degrees because I'm not on center now. It would shift, the drilling spot would shift somewhere else. So I will just flip the workpiece. I'm trying to get this edge against the fence. There are the two holes. Made a loop for a ring like I did before. Centering on the center drilled test piece. The vise is not clamped on the zero of the scale, so I just rotated until I found a pretty straight line across the two opposite corners. Now I will just put a mark here. It's just a random spot for a mark between the numbers. I will scratch in a tiny line, so I have a reference point. I lost track of the center, so I'm recentering on the center of the rotary table. I've recentered the vise. So the normal milling with the XY is a bit tricky. You have to keep track of the center. I've got a scale here to mark centimeters, but not one in this direction. So I have to keep track of it if I want to do it again. So there's something wrong. I'm out of alignment. These corners should line up every time. Now I've got to figure out where the error is. Or just go on with it and make a hexagon with a nice finish and figure this out later. And I think I'll do the second option. I'm a bit of the center line. I think it's half a millimeter or a millimeter, something like that. But I will just go on with it. These are, this is not the original colored folder, this is already a replacement. This one doesn't have flat edges for a wrench. So I'll have to do it like this. It's not a good solution, and it will just wear out the collet again. I think this should be my 0. Now I will just touch off. Wait a second. Change the light. Okay, I think this will do. I will switch directions every time I make a full circle. Finish looks nice. There are marks on it. Maybe you can see. There's this double spiral effect. But it looks like the cutting wasn't proper in all directions. Maybe it's got something to do with up and down milling. A flat workpiece. I will try only milling in one direction this time. And with the inward spiral. Yeah, same result. There are spots which look like marks. But because of the reflecting pattern, it isn't a very nice finish. It's getting a bit late now, so I'll do something else and think about this. I did one more blank. It's one I had lying around. It's doesn't matter if it's getting faced or not. I increased the RPM and it looks a lot smoother, but I also increased the travel between the circles to 2 millimeters instead of 1. And it looks smoother, but I don't know what the effect will be even when I will do the same pattern with 1 millimeter steps. But the increase in speed looks promising. The machine says 16,000 RPM right now. And, it can go up to 20. I did some testing at 20,000 RPM. These are lines across the disc at 10-degree intervals. And these are 1mm spaced circles, concentric, and the surface seems to have more of the irregularities. Maybe it's I think it's got something to do with the rigidity of the setup. I think this could be smoother. Also, there seem to be ridges, so that is a sign of misalignment of the. Maybe the header is a bit tilted, or the table is a bit tilted. I have to check that. So I've been thinking, and maybe the type of mill is causing a bit of a problem, because the corn mill only touches the surface at 2 tiny points, and I don't have a normal end mill at the moment, but I do have this engraving bit. I think it's 1mm on the end, and I kind of want to go on with other stuff. So I'm just gonna use this, gonna reacquire the center, and I'm gonna use this to face the ends of the new hexagon. Okay, I've reacquired the center of this rotary table. I attach this clamp with the test hexagon at the center of the spindle. I marked out the line on a piece of tape on this side, so I have a point of reference for the circle. I traversed to this side and made an angle so it would touch the top of the hexagon. And now I'm gonna make concentric circles spaced 0.5 millimeter apart, or with increasing diameter of 1 millimeter. This engraving bit is 1 millimeter in diameter. So here it goes. First I will touch off. And now I noticed the engraving or the cutting didn't happen on the whole surface. There's this part which didn't touch. So I have to do this face again. A bit lower, a bit deeper, I mean. Here's the difference between the two faces. We'll now do the last side. I'll try doing this 1.5 millimeters deep. Alright, that's it. Here's the second side. I have to redo the number to make it a bit more visible. And I have to work on the edges. I haven't thought about what I'm going to do, either mill or just do some polishing. But I need to do something with it. I just did this edge. I reversed it. And I think it's okay, so I will now do the other edges. First these three, then I will flip it and lower the Z-axis a tiny bit and then do the other ones. And I'm resting one side on one side of the clamp. I aligned the rotary table so it's rather straight, but I didn't use an indicator or something like that. I just put the bit over it and reverse it and see what the offset was. I hope I'm not scratching the side so much. Or I mean the front and the back. This one will be a bit more tricky. I think this looks okay. I have to bevel the edges because they're quite sharp at the moment. And then Hexagon number 2 is finished. I've been just using an old file. Just scraping a bit along the edge. A few different angles. I think this is the last pass. There's still a bit of an edge on some sides. I don't know what the best way is to do deburring onto faces. You want to keep the way you machine them. I do have these blades for these hook blades for deburring, but I don't have a handle yet. I can also run the sides over a piece of sanding paper, but I wanted to try this first. Just scraping. Only using the top of the file, not the teeth. And here's finished hexagon number 2. I made it by creating a surface finish with a 1mm engraving bit, making concentric circles using a rotary table, which I had to set up on my micromill. I think it's a nice surface, but sometimes it looks a bit erratic, but I think that's the way it catches the light. Also, if you move it, the pattern moves, and if you rotate it, it kind of stays at the same place sometimes. But I like it, and I think I was mistaken when I said the tip of the engraving bit is flat. I think there's a tiny angle on it. So I could also get other results with a proper end mill, but I don't have any, so I'll do that another time. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you soon.